Hey Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel, where of course it's all Juve all the time. It's September 20th. I'm Alberto. I've got all the latest news surrounding La Vecchia Signora. We are going to talk about the rumors of a new sporting director coming to Juventus, all right, and who they are looking at, what it could potentially mean in the future. Then we're of course going to tackle all the latest rumors circulating around Agnelli and Allegri and what's going on at Juventus. We're going to hear the words of some past Juve players in Vieri and Ravanelli, and then of course get to a roster update, okay, including what's happening with Di Maria, and then look at Alessandro and Rabiot, right? So all that right now, let's get into it. All right, Juventini, friendly reminder to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel. All right, now without further ado, let's get to the news at hand today on September 20th. So in a couple days, on the 23rd, on Friday, Juventus board will be having a meeting. It is not reported what the agenda will necessarily be, but there is a board meeting happening this Friday. This little international break here actually comes at a good time for them to kind of reflect and take a look at all options. All right, now in terms of coaching changes and everything like that, it's the latest news. It's something everybody's following day in, day out. It's being reported that Juventus will be sticking with Allegri. It's being reported that after the Monza match, Agnelli reached out to Allegri, called him and said, hey, we're still gonna back you. And he said that just offered the coach reassurance apparently, but said things need to change immediately. It's fine to say that. It's fine to ask for it. Of course, we need it. However, how is he going to accomplish this when he has lost a portion of the dressing room? And this continues to be reported by all sources, all right? Ex-players. We heard about Tardelli. We heard about Marchisio doubting it could be turned around. We know about the famous turnaround in 2015, 2016. We can look at the standings in the league and see we're only 7 points out from the top. However, the feeling we might as well be 15 to 20 points out is what it feels like when you look at the attitude, the body language of these players, and everything going on right now at the club. We might as well be 20. That's how it feels like. It feels like an unsurmountable deficit that we have to come up with. So it's going to be interesting. I don't see a way out for Max. I don't know how he can get all these players' trust back after the things he said in the media, basically pinning it all on 3 players and saying that the rest, this is what they're capable of. Very, very difficult to get out of this one, in my personal opinion, okay? So the latest news is we are sticking with Max Allegri for now. In terms of some options in the future, well, right now it's being rumored that Juve are looking at a new sporting director, okay? And the name that's come up is Gianluca Petracchi, who used to be sporting director for Torino. He is also very, very close with Antonio Conte, okay? So if this should happen, of course, all the rumors are going to spike and circulate around the potential return for Antonio Conte to Juventus. Of course, Conte, it's been reported that his relationship is not as bad as people expected with Juventus and the brass there. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Nedved is the one who wants to see Conte return to Juventus as well. So again, you have a lot of lack of cohesion on the pitch with the players, but even up top and upper management, as Arrivabene and Agnelli want to remain with Max. Nedved is pushing to make a coaching change. Thomas Tuchel, a lot of Juventini named Thomas Tuchel. He apparently is held in high regards by Juventus management. However, the cost comes down to the price. He would represent a major investment from Juventus, but they like his strong personality and character. So it's going to be very, very interesting to follow this one the whole way through and see what happens. For now, though, they're backing Allegri, okay? In terms of how fans feel and everything, well, even ex-players that were connected with Juventus are basically feeling the same way as many Juventini out there, and that is just sheer disappointment and frustration and really unable to clear Max's name and say that things can continue the way they are. Vieri, ex-Juve player, says basically that for Arrivabene to say it's madness to get rid of Max is untrue. You have to look at these players and say that you have Di Maria, you have Vlahovic, you have Kostic, you have good players. They have to be capable of more, and they just go out on the pitch and look like they have zero idea. So Vieri, very, very harsh on his criticisms of Max Allegri and just saying it's got to be better and it isn't madness to get rid of him. Ravanelli, disappointed and worried are his words. He said this is no longer Juventus. There is no longer Juve. And he says that as a fan, that it's just gone and there are major changes needed. And he does put the blame on all players, coach, and management for Juventus falling to the situation they're at. And he adds they've never been in a situation like this. And again, even when I talk about Calciopoli and going back to 2006, that whole banter, it never, ever felt to the dark depths of that feeling I get right now where all is essentially lost. You have Juventini talking about so many possibilities of changes moving forward and everything. For me, it starts with the culture. You need to bring in a guy in that's going to rein in on the culture. For a club like Juventus, with a rich history like the club has, for them to lose their culture completely is an absolute disgrace. That's the part that bothers me the most, is we have completely lost the culture that used to draw, that used to attract everybody. And if you're going for a global marketing brand, Agnelli, you've lost your culture, and that was your meal ticket. So that's unacceptable, and that is what Ravanelli is speaking to when he talks about there is no longer Juve. People want to tie to DNA, whatever. For me, it's culture. It's the culture of the club that has suffered tremendously over these past 3 years, and there's no signs of getting it back. So the next guy that comes in after Max needs to be the right guy, but it needs to be a culture guy, someone that can cultivate something, start something up, and he doesn't need to be there long. It could be 2 years, maybe 3, and then we can move on to worrying about tactics and getting everything tuned up and sharpened up. But the culture's got to come back. Who's your pick for a culture guy? Everybody can have different thoughts on that one. In terms of the roster, Di Maria is going to be out for 2 matches. He faces a 2-match ban. He will be out for Bologna and Milan matches, okay, due to that red card. And again, we talked about it on the post-match podcast. A lot of Juventini saying that is a sign he has given up on his coach and whatnot. Look, I could see it, and maybe that has happened. There are reports today saying that their relationship is already rocky and done between Di Maria and Allegri. But in truth, and again, we spoke about this on the podcast, Di Maria is no stranger to these types of events. He's had 5 straight reds in his career, 4 double yellows, and he's definitely not free and clear of being involved in heated moments, okay? However, that said, it's very, very easy to get sucked into those types of moments when you're completely frustrated. So still can be signs of frustration and potentially frustrations with Max, but he's going to be out for the next 2 matches, Bologna and Milan. Locatelli, Sandro, and Rabiot, all very, very close to returning for Juventus after the international break. They should be back in the lineup sheets for Juventus. All right, so that wraps up your news break to September 20th, Juventini. A lot to dissect. A potential new sporting director. Obviously, everything going on with them backing Allegri. There's a board meeting coming up on Friday, which is going to obviously draw a lot of attention from Juventini, and rightfully so. Would love to know the agenda for that one. Let's wait and see how it all shakes up, but you guys know the drill around here. Okay, first, like the video, but more importantly, drop all your comments, questions, thoughts, opinions on everything you just heard today and where you're feeling right now in the comment section of this video, and let's mix it up. I love hearing from all of you, okay? Thank you for the continued support. I'll keep you up to date with the daily update videos through this international break, and we may have a special live all Juve cast times, Juve Canal show coming up during this international break, where we can really dissect and tackle all the news as it builds up here over the international break. All right, thank you all again, and as always, no matter what, we ain't going anywhere. So fino alla fine, forza Juve, ciao tutti.